Hi guys. So today I want to do just a short video to encourage you to live your life in a fashion that is limitless. Don't live your life accepting the limitations that other people put on you. Of course we have limitations, sometimes to do with our health, sometimes to do with our finances, whatever the case may be. But the truth is that from the time that you start to think in a mindset that says that you have limitations, instead of thinking of ways to break them and move forward and do things you really want to do, you end up in a position where you do less. You end up in a position where you feel you can't get past that point. And just look around you. Every day, all over the world, people are doing great things. Do not let being in a small country or from a small family or small whatever make your mind small. Keep your mind open and keep your mind big. Understand that the greatness that we have come from is limitless. Understand that the universe does not have boundaries. Understand that we ourselves are only as bound as we feel. And therefore don't allow yourself to feel as though you're in a little box, even when people try to put you in one. At the end of the day, it is unfortunate that we have to go around these individuals who think that in order to make it, you have to undercut somebody. In order to make it, you have to steal people's clients or tell lies or trick people or, people who make excuses. Is the government fault? Is this person fault? And sometimes they might be right. Because I know in my life I am faced with many trials. And that oftentimes I'm treated less than I deserve. Just because people have an idea of what black women are supposed to be or not supposed to be. Just because people have placed limits on people that look like me. Just because some men, instead of seeing the fact that a woman can have children as a beautiful thing, the fact that a woman has a womb and that sometimes she needs a little bit of care, right? Some men, they see that as you're weak and you're less than. Can they bring a baby into the world? No, they can't, but we's the weak one. Okay, but because of that, you will always get idiots and naysayers and whatever the case may be. But you have to open up your mind to the possibility of your greatness. You have to look at the fact that there's somebody who started out with way less than what you have and have been able to grow themselves to way more. You have to open your mind to the possibility that there's a person right now who's morbidly obese that next year might be into bodybuilding. And the year after that, might shed half of their whole weight in body fat. You just have to open your mind to the fact that whatever it is you want to do is possible. On some level, you have to get success. If you keep working at it with the proper knowledge, you have to get somewhere. So, stop living your life with these limits. Oh, I can't stop eating so I can never lose weight. Instead of saying, well, maybe I have a sugar addiction. Maybe I have this, maybe I have that, and dealing with it head on. Are you just going to die? Are you just going to allow things to kill you? Or are you going to get up and live? Are you going to get up and say, listen, I have X, Y, and Z wrong with me, but I cannot let this keep me back? Because that is the only difference between winners and losers. Attitude. A person comes second and still win if they got the right attitude. Saying, oh, he beat me. Then saying, oh, I can't get this dude. Then saying, oh, this is so hard. There's one person that's going to get up and they're going to say, I don't like doing this, but this is good for me, so I can do it. And eventually, they're behind and start liking it because it becomes a habit. Now, it only takes 21 days to form a habit, so I've been told. But I'll tell you something, it takes a lifetime to form a mindset sometimes. And sometimes our mindset stops us from doing every single thing. So I want you to start thinking about your mindset, where you're at, what you actually think you're capable of. And understand that if you don't think you're capable of much, or if the things that you aspire to you don't think you're capable of doing, that's low self-esteem and insecurity. And those are things that need to be worked on. On another note, if there's things in your life that you realize you want to do that are going to stop you from reaching your goals, you need to understand, well, maybe you're just a fan of something. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're just a fan of fit people, but you don't actually, maybe it's not for you. And accept yourself. But if you can't accept yourself, then you need to make those changes. You need to develop yourself. You need to get to a point where you feel good enough that you can accept yourself. Where you can say, hey, this is me, and I can do this. And this lifestyle is possible for me. I can do this. You know? We are living our lives stuck in limitations. We are living our lives thinking that whatever other people say, who have not put limits on what they can say, by the way, control who we are. How? How are you going to come in this world and tell me that one person is better than another person for any other reason except their character? How are you going to tell me that one child is more capable than another child? Right? Maybe in one way, but not in the other. So we need to find the things that we're good at. We need to find the things that we want to do. And we need to work on those things. A lot of people start out terrible and reach their goals because they don't give up and they don't make excuses. Sometimes us saying can't and acting like we have all these limits is just an excuse so that when we already plan to not make it, because we already planned to fail, we have an excuse lined up. Lazy people love an excuse. A lazy person can say, I was calling all the time and I ain't get through. They might have called twice. In the middle of the night, not during business hours. They don't want to get through. They just want to say they called. Who are you? What are you made of? Figure it out. And then decide if that's who you really want to be. And if you're on the right path, kudos to you. But if you ain't on the right path, we got work to do. Live your life limitless. Do not put limits on your life. Do not die not having at least tried your best to be your best self because other people wished that they could have and didn't make it. Honor your existence. As Mufasa told Simba, you are more than what you have become. Oh my gosh, I love you. Love yourself more. Have a good day. Do the right things. Don't do things that keeping you back. Don't stay with this man and this man ain't helping you. Don't keep spending money on a woman who you know don't really love you. Do what you gotta do to be your best version of yourself. I don't care who tell you anything about it. Don't care when people from your country think that you're not as good as people overseas because you're from their country. You see this mindset thing? It's all mental. If superstars, as we call them, but they're just people, like Rihanna, that come from Westbury Road. Suppose Rihanna did talent herself, and I'm not trying to promote Rihanna here, but she's a person everybody knows. I'm using her as an example, just by the way. Suppose Rihanna was to say, I only come from Westbury Road. I got people that, you know, I have family to call Williams. And she was to think that sort of shit every time she went to perform. Right? She would have never been a superstar. She would have been nervous every time. Her voice would have cracked. Everything would have gone wrong. She had to be confident. And in the same way, right? In the same way, we can't let where we come from or anything that we did not have control over depict how we live our lives and who people think we are. Because what people think, most of them are being mediocre and making excuses anyway, so who cares what they think? And there's others that think you need to steal and you need to lie and you need to downgrade and degrade other people in order to get somewhere. So that's what they're doing to you. But when we know what we are made of, when we know the God that made us, we know that we are limitless and that all of anything else is not real.